Hi, everyone. Welcome. Happy World Breastfeeding Week. It is Tuesday, August 1st, 2017, and we are so excited to be here with you tonight. It is World Breastfeeding Week, and this is a huge celebration. So for us in this house, it's like a party. This is like our holiday here. So great, and I'm so excited to spend it with all of you and some of my favorite people in the world that are going to be joining us in just a minute as my guests. So we're just going to let everybody jump on. Hi, everyone. Everybody is jumping on with us right now. We have an awesome show for you tonight. Like I said, some of the best people in the industry making some of the best products that are supporting new moms, breastfeeding moms, and just some of my favorite people and friends. So let's let everybody jump on because we've got a great show and we've got some great conversation. We've got some great prizes, as always, lots of prizes tonight. And also, you guys submitted a whole bunch of your questions, and so how could I not answer your questions? So we will be going ahead and answering some of your questions as well. So just so happy to be having you all join us, and everybody is jumping on now. I always like to give it a minute because I know it takes a minute for everybody to get here. So for those of you guys who don't know me, and I'm going to say that because we have so many new people on our page, on our Facebook page, joining every single day. And every week that we do this web show, this My Baby Experts web show, there are always new people from all over the world. And it is just the thrill of my life to see you in the chat room and see more amazing moms and dads joining our community. We have an amazing community, and we've been doing this for quite a long time. So first, I just want to say, if you're new, please say, hi, I'm new, because we have to give you our special welcome, which we always do. We always welcome new people, okay? Tonight is episode 119, believe it or not, of the My Baby Expert Show. And again, it is World Breastfeeding Week. Actually, today's the first day kicking off World Breastfeeding Week. So we're going to have a party tonight. Like I was saying, for those of you guys who don't know me, I'm Shari Criso. I am obviously the host of the My Baby Expert Show, but my background, I am a registered nurse. I'm a certified nurse midwife, an international board certified lactation consultant, and I am a teacher and a mom. Okay, so I have two daughters. They were both exclusively breastfed, and it has become just it's always been my mission to support new and expecting parents, but especially now that I get to do this all over the world with all of you. So this is just fantastic. So yes, everybody's on. I would love to know if you are new. I would love to also know, I want to ask you another question tonight. How old are your children? I'd love to hear from you. How old are your children? Are you breastfeeding? Are you pumping? Did you breastfeed? What's your situation? I'd love to hear it because tonight is a huge celebration of breastfeeding. And that's because this is the time of year where we get to really honor it. We honor it every day, but this is the time of year where everybody honors it together. And so tonight is one of those nights. Yes. Hello, Lauren. Okay, so everybody's joining the chat right now. Go ahead and put your comment in there. Let's see hashtag 119 also for episode 119. And then let's get some hearts going across the screen. That's the rules. That's the rules around here. If you guys are new and you don't know the rules, we love hearts. We love it. So the more hearts you can go ahead and start popping across that screen, you'll see I'll start smiling because I'll see the hearts. I love it. I feel the love. I give the love, and we answer more questions that way. We give better prizes, right? Just kidding. Okay, so when anybody answers a question, when anybody asks a question, we always give hearts to that person, including me, okay? All right, so let's bring on our guests because we've got an amazing panel that I want to share with you, and I'm going to start popping them on the screen here. So give me 1 minute. Let me demonstrate my amazing technical skills for all of you. I'm going to start bringing on all the cameras and all the audios, and we are live. Hi, ladies.
Hi, everybody.
Hi,
Shari.
Hi, Shari. Now it feels like a party. Now it's a real party. Everyone's on. It's amazing. I'm so excited to have you all here. And so is everybody else. I know. Okay, so who we have here, let me do a quick introduction. We have Elise from Evenflo Feeding over here. Hi. We have Amanda from Rumina Nursingwear. We have Laura from Back Buddy by Mom's Essentials, and we have Rachel from Rachel's Remedy.
Hi, everybody.
So let's get some hearts going along. We'll welcome our guests. Everybody's excited to see you. They all feel like they know you because they know your products, but I really wanted them to get the opportunity to know you the way that I know all of you. And for those of you guys who follow me and listen to our live streams and hear me talk about my partners, you all know that I don't work with a million different brands. It's not like we have a lot of different companies. There's a select few that that I really love, that I talk about all the time, that I recommend all the time. And most of them are here, sitting here right now. And there's a reason. It's not just quality, amazing products that serve a purpose, but quality, amazing people with a purpose. And so I just thought that tonight would be a great chance for you to get to know them the way that I know them, and for them to just share. We can all share, as we're all breastfeeding moms, to talk about how we got started in this business. I mean, the fact that we were breastfeeding and now we've made a career out of it in one way or another is amazing. And so we get to help other moms. So that's tonight's show, and how solutions that we needed. I call this show Breastfeeding Solutions because I know that, as mothers, usually when we find a problem that we're dealing with, we try to come up, that's how things are invented. We create a solution, or we create something that would have helped us had we had it. And then we think of other women and we say, you know what, if I wish I had this when I was nursing. I wish I had known this. I wish I had this product. And you guys have all done something like that. So, okay, let's get some hearts for all the ladies. And then I'm going to go ahead and start with Elise. Elise here is from Evenflo. And I'm just going to change the screen for a minute. Hold on one second. Let me tell you, it's like patting your head and rubbing your belly at the same time. That's what I'm doing right now. So hold on. Okay, good. So I'm going to start with Elise. Elise, first of all, let me just tell everybody that Elise has been my longest partner. We've been together for several years. She's my sister. I love you so much, and I love everything that you've done, and so much of, I've been with you guys for 6 years now, and it's been an incredible partnership. And if it wasn't for Elise, I wouldn't have been doing what I'm doing with the pump and creating all this education as well. So it has benefited so many moms. And so I just want to personally say thank you for that, and thank you from everyone else that I may not know to thank you for this, but thank you.
Thank you so much. That's so kind.
Yeah, absolutely.
And basically, you and I almost started on the brand at the same time, started working with the brand at the same time.
Yeah.
Right?
We totally, yeah.
Yeah.
Why don't you just tell everybody what you do, like who you are for Evenflo, and then tell us your story, because it's exactly what we were describing, which is that need.
Okay, sure. So I'm the Senior Director of Marketing for Evenflo Feeding, and I've been there, like Shari said, just over 6 years. And really, my girls are now 9 and 11, but they were, I had beautiful births. I've nursed both of them for 15 and 18 months, but I went back to work at 15 and 18 weeks, basically. So, which is kind of on the long side for an American maternity leave, but horribly short for me and really all women. But so going back to work and transitioning from having my baby at breast and being home with them to having to pump 3+ times a day, 5 days a week, and really becoming a peer counselor of sorts for all of my friends. I was a super passionate breastfeeding mom, and my doula was the latch league leader in the area. So I kind of was all consumed by the whole new pastime, the new lifestyle that I led with my girls. And Coming to Evenflo Feeding was definitely a personal passion project as much as it was a professional opportunity to, take what I had learned and a lot of the struggles of going back to work and, not having a pump that helped me really hurt my supply and the struggles that I went through, trying to bring some of that knowledge and passion to a almost 100-year-old brand at the time and given the opportunity to renovate it both through product innovation and really understanding moms and taking a business that had been led by men and, kind of transitioning that to a business that's led by women, which is a novel idea when you're making breast pumps and infant feeding products. So.
Yeah, you wouldn't think that, but it's actually true. Like one of the things that I love about Evenflo Feeding and working with the whole team is that it truly is like all nursing moms. Like there's almost all women are, our president is a woman who breastfed, everybody there basically. And it just lends to like the real understanding of what moms need. And you don't see that in the breast pump industry too much.
Yeah, true.
Yeah. Yeah. And, I think that the whole concept of just creating something, one of the things that I love and that I've always respected you so much for was understanding the need for good quality. And then at the same time, like consulting, yes, it was me that you asked to support you to design it, but having that foresight to say, hey, we want to make something that's really going to work in the real world, that's really going to work with moms. We want to like have all those features that a mom would need. And so being able to come in from the beginning really made a huge difference to,
We worked for 2 years on that pump behind the scenes. Yeah.
Sure did. And the education too. That was all your idea as well. So,
well, I think, for me, I was on the exceptional side of an experience where I had a lot of maternal care. I had a doula who was also my lactation expert postpartum and going to classes and things like that where I know that's not the norm. So taking the opportunity to address and assist all moms with education and with great product was the biggest opportunity that we could deliver on to really help people.
So awesome. Well, I could tell you right now that everyone who watches what I do knows this brand really, really well. They love it. So many of them have the pump, and it's made a huge difference in their lives. If you guys have the Evenflo pump, or you want the Evenflo pump, or you want any of the products, I'd love to hear from you in the chat room. Let's do some hearts. I know there's a lot of Evenflo moms in the room right now, and actually, today we're going to be giving away a prize, which is the Evenflo Care Package, which includes all the different products: the manual breast pump, the breast pads, the bags, the bottle, the storage containers, and so we got a really nice care package for one of the winners tonight. All you have to do to win any of the prizes tonight is to like or love this post. Comment here and tell me why that prize would benefit you in some way, why you want it, why you love it, why you need it, and then make sure that you register as well. I gave you a link. It's in the post, so you just need to register. You guys are getting used to the registration there, and that's it. And then we'll pick winners sometime tomorrow, okay? So thank you so much, Elise, and I'm going to go ahead and how about we do this? How about we answer a question and then we move on, just so that somebody gets a question answered, because they left so many questions here that I feel like we need to give a little bit of information too. So I'm going to answer someone's question. Let's see here. How about let me see. This is a question that came from Tanya, and Tanya is one of our viewers that has been on with us for a while. Tanya asked the question, how soon after delivery should you breastfeed? Very, very good question. Now, this isn't an ideal, if everything goes perfectly and ideally, and your babies should be with you after delivery, whether you've had a vaginal birth or C-section. Of course, there's always those situations where the baby may have an issue, but I'm talking about normal situations. Ideally, the baby should nurse within the first hour after birth. And one of the things I want to say about that is, sometimes, and I was a midwife, so I delivered a lot of babies, and, moms would get like, the minute the baby came out, they'd want to put the baby on the breast. And actually, it's a little bit sometimes too soon. Like, the way that it works is the baby needs to breathe, and then the baby needs to eat. And so we want to give them some time to get used to that life outside of the uterus. And if we actually just allow the baby to take its time and use its natural instincts to crawl to the breast, to be put belly to belly and give it time, the baby will usually latch within the first hour. Around 45 to 50 minutes is around the time when the baby will normally latch. So the baby doesn't have to nurse immediately, but that first hour is the perfect time to do lots of skin to skin, allow the baby to find its way to the breast, and then finally latch. And there's all kinds of stages that go on with the baby till it gets there, which you can do a little bit more reading, or we'll talk about on another episode. But great question, Tanya. And obviously you want to make that known to your nurse, to your doctor, to your midwife, to everyone around, that you want that baby to stay with you. Most of everything can be done right there, skin to skin, all the APGAR scoring, everything else can be all done while the baby's attached to you and on your belly, and everything else can wait. All right, so that's, I think, the main point here is everything else can wait. First thing that needs to happen is you get that time with your baby. So there you go. Okay, some hearts. That was a question. Hearts for Tanya. Let's get some hearts going across the screen. And next up, we're going to talk to Amanda. Hi, Amanda.
Hello.
Amanda is so kind to join us from her vacation. So she's on a satellite internet there, and hopefully that's going to work. I'm going to just change the screen real quick. Amanda is from Rumina Nursingwear. You guys all know Rumina and love Rumina. How could you not love Rumina? And so it is the amazing, and I'm actually going to show it right now. It is the amazing pumping and nursing tanks and bras, where you can nurse with it on, or you can actually hands-free pump with the bra and not need any other equipment or anything else. And you can even pump on one side, nurse on the other. Just an amazing, a wonderful product. So this is Amanda from Rumina. Let's see, I'm just trying to see if this is working here. There you are. Okay, good. So Amanda, we've been working together for a while, and you've been on with me a couple times, but I would love for you to tell the audience, just give us your background and tell us about your company and your story here.
Okay, well, hi, moms. I love coming on and talking with you, Shari, and talking with a whole bunch of moms. I'm actually co-owner of Rumina. So my sister, my mom, and I all own Rumina, but the credit for the design actually goes to my sister. Mm-hmm. When she was having her first bowl, she tried to find a product that would help her hands-free pump while she went back to work. Kind of what, like Elise said, we're one of the few countries that tend to go back to work very, very quickly after having our babies. And my sister was exactly that way. I think she had maybe 4 weeks of maternity leave and then had to get back to work. So she couldn't find something that worked with her body. It was back, I think, when we were first prototyped, the first design was maybe 9 years ago. That's how old my nephew is, 9 years ago. And so all the designs out there were pretty much that pull-on type. You had to zip up, or just a bustier type of product, and it just didn't work for my sister. She only ended up pumping, she exclusively pumped with Bryce. She only pumped for maybe 7 months, 9 months, and then it just became
only pumped for 7 or 9 months. That's a really long time. let's say she pumped for 7 to 9 months. That's a lot of pumping. So Dawn gets a lot of credit for that.
She does. She has a really hard time with it because she really, I think, knew that she could have gone longer, but so many circumstances, the work, the traveling, the dragging the pump to work, having to go somewhere, undress, put something on, not having a private room, in addition to being a low supplier, just kind of compounded all of that, and it's really stressed her out. So she actually got pen to paper and started designing the what is now the essential relaxed bra. And it took about a few years in prototyping to finally launch on the market in 2011. And excuse me, the tank. We came out with the tank first. And so the tank, really, her first one, because she wanted the full coverage, the belly, all the way to the belly, a tank type of product, not just a bra. And so that's really how the product came to life. I had my little ones a little bit after Rumina launched. And so it was, sorry, I was going to it was helpful to me. I exclusively pumped as well. But
we're having a little bit of hard time. I'm having a little hard time hearing you. I don't know if you got to come closer to the microphone or if it's getting covered up at all. It might be your internet, but go ahead. We'll keep going.
Okay.
That's good.
But so I exclusively pumped with my first child when we had the product. I talked to moms a lot. Really, the face of Rumina. I'm really close, so you see my face very well. I talk a lot with moms. My sister's on the product. My mom does the financial and accounting. So we're pretty much make up Rumina.
That's awesome. That's awesome. I love working with you guys, and I love your product. I get so much feedback from moms who have the product, love it, tell me they already have it. Like they've been wearing them for a long time, and they're so great because, exclusive pumping is just, it's hard. It's breastfeeding and being a mom is hard in itself. But for any of you moms that are exclusively pumping, and if you're exclusively pumping, I'd love to hear from you in the chat room. Take lots of credit. It's not an easy thing to do, and any kind of product that's going to support a mom when she's working so hard to have her milk like that, I absolutely think is amazing. So it's a great product. It's really innovative and just leaves you with not having to have so many things on you. You need good supportive bras. And that's the thing about it, is that the bras are so comfortable, and there's so many different kinds and styles now that you guys make, and they kind of fit just about every kind of situation or body style, which is great. And they all have the same features. So, and I always tell moms, one of the best times to pump is while you're nursing. So, it helps with your letdown. It saves time. So all of it just works great with this particular hands-free product, because a lot of the other ones, you really, when it's covered, when you're wearing something over your bra, you're not able to nurse at the same time. And that's a huge, aha. So
I think that's a big difference between our product and any other products that moms might find on the market is because we don't have that hole right over the nipple. You moms can wear it all day. It's supportive. They can do any activity with baby. When they need to pump, they can pump. When baby wants to nurse, she can nurse. And
I think you cut out. What Amanda was saying was the product doesn't have a hole right over the nipple, so that it's just really easy to wear under your clothes. And it's really supportive, and you can't see that hole when you're wearing something, because who wants to see the hole, but then when she needs to pump, she can pump. When she needs to nurse, she can nurse, or if she needs to do both, she can do both at the same time. So fantastic. Thank you, Amanda, and thanks for taking time from your vacation there up at the lake. I think it did pretty good, actually, considering the satellite internet that you're on. I'm actually quite impressed that you're still on. All right. So if you want to, yes, I know Amanda is really echoing. We're all aware. She's away, but hey, listen, she even took the time to come do this tonight. So I'm just glad that we got to see your face. Awesome. All right. So Amanda, what's the prize tonight from Rumina?
It's a pump and nurse set. So
Awesome.
it's winner gets to choose the tank, and then the winner gets to choose the bra.
Fantastic.
So, and size and color, all of their choice.
Awesome. Okay, ladies, hearts across the screen for Rumina and for Amanda. If you want to win the Rumina, you know what to do. I'm not going to say it again. You know what to do. Okay, so let's do another question, and then we will move on here. Are you guys enjoying our Little World Breastfeeding Week party as much as I am? I don't know. I think I'm the one having the best time, everyone. Yes, you guys are enjoying that? Isn't it great? Yeah, isn't it cool that we have this technology? I mean, come on, that we can actually all be on the screen like this, that we can be talking to moms, like literally they're all over the world. People are like tuning in from different countries, from all over United States, Canada, so it's really cool. Let's answer another question right now. The question came in from Caitlin. Caitlin asked a bunch of questions, actually. She says that she's finding that her daughter is favoring one side over the other. Do I have any suggestions besides pumping the other side? This is a question that's near and dear to my heart because my oldest daughter, who's now 15, was very stubborn at 4 months old. And, it was just foreshadowing what was coming. But not going to talk about teenagers tonight. Anyway, when my daughter was about 4 months old, she stopped nursing on my left side and only preferred the right side. And it was mainly because everybody has a more dominant side. And for her, she didn't want to be bothered when the milk wasn't flowing fast. And the right side made a lot more milk, and it just was, better and easier to nurse on. So she completely nursed on one side. And I actually just posted about this just tonight. I think it was around 6 o'clock tonight. I put up a post, a breastfeeding myth, about the fact that you don't need two breasts in order to breastfeed. And this is how moms nurse twins. But if she's favoring one side, I would say that it's always easier to be able to use both. If you're going to have an easier time with having enough milk supply, you're not going to be as uneven, because I can tell you that I was quite uneven when one side was filled with milk and the other was dried up, which they are independent and they will do that. So if you can try to get the baby to nurse on both sides, that's always the best idea. And try to figure out what exactly is happening. Like I said, with me, it was because one side was the producer. That's what she wanted. For you, Caitlin, it might actually be the opposite situation. It could be that one side is the producer and it's actually making too much milk. And I had noticed in your another question that you put here that the baby was gulping really hard and choking on the milk. And so one thing that could happen is if one side is flowing too hard and it's, you've got a really heavy letdown and there's a lot of milk, the baby could be overwhelmed with feeding from that side and actually reject it. And so you got to figure out what is actually happening that's causing it. That could be one thing. The other thing could be that it could be the way that you're holding the baby. Some babies, you're right-handed and you're left-handed, and your positioning might be different on either side. So try different positions. And then in the end, just know that, whatever the issue is, that if your baby really won't nurse off of one side, pumping that other side to keep that supply going may be a good idea for you. Once you start and I talked about this with Jamie this past week on the Q&A, that a lot of people don't know that when one side starts to dry up, it starts to change flavor. And then it's really hard to get the baby to eat that milk altogether. The sodium content goes up, it gets salty, and then you're kind of like a downward spiral from there. So maybe pumping a little bit on the other side to keep the supply, good amount for storage, introducing the baby to a bottle at a certain point with that may be the best option. And, if it is an oversupply, more of a laid back position tends to help. Have the baby lay on top of you instead of underneath the breast. It'll give the baby more control over the flow, and lots of times that will help let the baby be able to let the milk flow out of its mouth and not gag and choke and drown in the feeding. So there you go. Okay, Caitlin. Yay, Caitlin. Let's get some hearts for Caitlin there for that awesome question. hearts for Caitlin, and we are going to move on down the line here, and I've got Laura. Hi, Laura. Oh, wait, hold on. I have Laura, and I had her muted. Sorry, Laura. This is Laura from Back Buddy. Sorry,
Hi.
how are you?
Good, how are you?
I'm good. Let me change the screen real quick. Hold on. Oh, what did I just do? I just did something. Okay. All right. So Laura is from Back Buddy, and Laura's been with us for quite a long time. How long have we been working together? Like over 2 years now, I think.
Yeah, probably about 2 years.
Yeah, long time. And everybody knows Back Buddy because every single time that I do any live stream anywhere, anytime, I've always got one in the screen because it is so comfortable, and it's not just for nursing or pregnant moms. It's really for everyone, but especially good for nursing and pregnant moms. So Laura did an episode with us a couple weeks ago on childbirth choices, and we had a great show together, and you were sitting right there. She's in Florida right now. She's away as well. Everybody's on vacation. Yeah. So Laura, can you just give everybody your background and how you designed this amazing product?
Yeah, well, I started this business a few years back. I have 3 daughters who are I have twins who just turned 12, and my youngest daughter just turned 7. So I nursed all 3 of them. The twins I nursed to 18 months, and my youngest I nursed to 15 months. And I always felt like there was something missing. Like I had to pile up pillows behind me, pile up pillows on the side, and I had this pile on the sofa that nobody could touch. That was my spot for nursing. Don't touch my pillows. Don't go near that area because that is the only place I can sit. And so I had that issue with the twins. And of course, with twins, I was feeding and pumping, and I was sitting in that place nonstop, it felt like. And I just had so much backache. And I just couldn't figure out why there was nothing out there that would do this. So, the twins got a little bit older. I had my youngest daughter, and I experienced all the same problems all over again. And still, there was nothing on the market that was supportive enough. So my husband is a chiropractor, and at this point, I asked him if he would help me design a pillow that would provide the proper support. And if he could do that, and if he could help me design it from a chiropractic standpoint, then I would figure out how to bring it to market. So that all began in 2011. We went through tons of different prototypes. We wanted it to be just perfect. And then finally, we were on the market probably around the middle of 2012. So we've been selling it for a few years. The feedback that we've been getting has been amazing. And, I wished that I had something like that when I was nursing. And I forgot to mention, I taught childbirth classes for over 10 years. I was a certified natural childbirth instructor. And so part of my teaching, I was certified to teach breastfeeding classes as well. I found that I wasn't the only person that was having this issue. So that was kind of what prompted me to finally do something about it. So, that was how it all began.
It's so awesome. And as you were talking about 2012, I can remember seeing you back then. Do you remember when I met you? Was like the first, like when you just come out with the product, and I came running over to you. I was just like, this is awesome. This is so needed.
ABC show with 4 prototypes. And it was the end of 2011. We weren't even on the market yet at that point.
Yep, I remember.
But I do remember. Yeah.
Yep. And mainly I just remembered looking at it, I see so many products. I'll go to these trade shows, I'll look around, I'll see different products, and not everything makes sense to me, because when I'm looking at a product, I'm always thinking of a lot of moms. What do moms really need? It's some things maybe 1 or 2 that person might have needed, but not everybody's going to need. When I saw your product, I thought, this is something that is going to help a lot of people, because positioning is so critical to getting the right latch. And, you know, when you're sunk down in a couch, when you're sunk down in the bed or in a chair, not getting that support for yourself, you're not going to get the baby to latch properly to the breast. And so, and you're going to be in pain too. And I just know from seeing thousands of women and, you know, during pregnancy and also breastfeeding that this was just like, there is nothing else like it.
Yeah. And the other point too, with the mother not being comfortable, if you're not in the right position, it's really hard for your milk to let down. I've had a lot of students who had a really hard time getting themselves to relax. So if you're in the proper position and you can actually concentrate on what you're doing, and then your milk will let down a lot easier if you're not tense and uncomfortable.
Yep. Everything that we're talking about tonight, and especially with what you're saying here, is about relaxation, about being comfortable. If it's what you're saying is absolutely true. If you're not comfortable and you're in pain in any way, it does inhibit that letdown reflex, and it can make it really hard, not just for the baby to latch, but even if the baby does get a good latch, for your milk to let down. So that's a really good point. Thanks for sharing that, because I think so many times, like even now, like I'll do consultations with moms like through Skype, and it's hard now, like doing it through Skype, because I just want to reach through and like help them reposition and fix their pillows for them, and I can't. And I'm literally doing this with my hands as if I'm going to be able to do something. And then I have to have dad, their husband or their partner help them. But you know, watching moms like hunching over, slouching down, all those things really, you do that repetitively every 2 to 3 hours, 24 hours a day for several months. You know, I always say breastfeeding is one of those things that we don't even exercise. Like there's nothing we do that's so repetitive and so physical.
Yeah, it's very painful on your back. It's so easy to hunch forward because you want to bring yourself to the baby, but that's the exact opposite of what you should be doing. Right. So this kind of forces you to like realize that you have to sit back, and it kind of pushes you in the proper position.
Totally. And it has to do with the lumbar support too. Like I'm going to show them. So like there's like a lumbar part to this, and then you can see that it's sort of like, it's got this nice cradled area around here around your waist and your hips, so that it's got the side panels and just the foam. Talk about the foam too, because you know what? A lot of these products, you know, foam can have a lot of stuff in it that we want to avoid. It's coming so close to your baby. You're going to be nursing, and your baby's face is going to be so close to it. So I just want you to describe to them what you do with your foam.
Okay. And for so many hours, you're sitting in there, you know, feeding or pumping. Your baby is right next to it for so long. So that was one of the things that was really, really important to me when I started designing this, because I know that there is a lot of chemicals in polyurethane foam and baby products, and you have to really watch out for that. So our foam is made in the USA, and it's certified by a company called CertiPure US. It's certified to be made without any harmful PBDE flame retardants, no CFCs, no phthalates, no formaldehyde, no mercury, lead, other heavy metals. It's tested for performance, durability, and emissions. So it's certified to not have any of those harmful emissions. And that was one of the things that you really have to take a look at those things. You assume when something is in a store, you know, especially one of the big retail stores, you think that it's safe, but that's not always the case. You really have to do your research and make sure that, you know, the products that you're using are safe for you to be breathing in, you know, especially for long periods of time. So that was one of my main priorities, was to make sure that the foam that we use is safe and we have that certification to back it up.
Absolutely. And that's something that a lot of people don't pay attention to, because they just don't know whether it's your mattress or any kind of pillows or things that, you know, you cannot be washed and that off gas. And foam is one of those things that will off gas those chemicals, like Laura was saying. So, you know, something may look the same out there, but you really got to think about what's in it so that your baby's not breathing it in. And you too. And you too. So awesome product. Let's get some hearts for Laura here and for the Back Buddy. They love Back Buddy. Every single time I do a show, even if I'm not talking about your product, Laura, they see it behind me and they're like, I want a Back Buddy.
Aw, that's great.
You can see how comfortable I am just sitting here. And Joe's posting links for everybody so you know where you can get, if you want to get one for yourself, links for everything. There's a million hearts going across the screen right now. I love seeing that. And what's the prize tonight, Laura?
So the prize is winner's choice. They can choose whatever style, whatever color they want. It doesn't matter if it's a all-in-one or a deluxe. They get to choose exactly what they want.
Yay. Awesome. They're excited about that. Okay, guys, you heard that, right? You get to choose whichever one you want. So make sure you're liking and loving this post. Go over it first of all, and go over to, Evenflo Feeding, to Back Buddy, to Rachel's Remedy, to Rumina's Facebook page. Give them some love on their pages too, because it's always nice to thank people for all the prizes and all the work. And even when you don't see them, trust me, it is the reason why I get to do all this with you every week, and all the content, all the information, all the learning that you get is because of our amazing partners. So make sure you go give some love. Okay? Yay. All right, let's do another question, and then we're going to bring Rachel on. Rachel's been so patient over there. Give me one more minute. Let's answer another question. Okay. Next, let's see here. The question is from Judy, and Judy said, can oversupply cause blood in the baby's stool? I found conflicting information. Okay. So let's say this. I would say no to that. What you're referring to is that when you're oversupplied, meaning that there's a lot of milk, that can cause what we would consider like hind milk and fore milk imbalance. That means that there's more watery, low-fat milk coming out first, and so the baby may be getting a lot more watery milk. One of the things that can happen when you've got that condition or that situation, which can happen like right after the baby's born for the first few weeks when you're engorged, or for some moms, if you're pumping a lot or you just have a large milk supply, is that watery skim type milk, it's like skim milk, because the breast milk has so much lactose in it, the baby needs fat in order to digest that lactose. And so when there's not enough fat from there being so much fore milk, it can cause the baby to be really gassy, and it can make the baby very uncomfortable. And that's when we consider that to be like an imbalance. The other thing that can happen is when there's a lot of watery milk, the baby's eating enough volume and quantity of milk, but may not be gaining weight at the rate that we would expect because we're not getting all the fat, right? But if you're seeing blood in the baby's stool, that's typically not a hind milk fore milk imbalance. It's usually more of a cow's milk intolerance or some kind of an allergy that the baby's having, usually more of an intolerance. And we've talked about this so many times that the most typical thing to see in an infant would be an intolerance to cow's milk protein. And that would come from you drinking, if you're breastfeeding, from you drinking cow's milk, eating cheese, any kind of cow's dairy product. That protein from the dairy is going to go through your breast milk and through your body into your breast milk and into your baby. And for many human infants, they cannot digest cow's milk protein. And over time, if they have a severe intolerance, that could cause blood in the stool. So I would look to that first, Judy, instead of the oversupply. Most likely the baby's struggling with something in your diet, and the first thing to go for is the dairy. You have to cut it out, and it doesn't happen overnight. It could take weeks for it to fully come out of your milk. It could go in very quickly within the next meal, but it could take couple weeks for it to come out. So you don't just cut the dairy out for a day and say, oh, that wasn't it. You need to give it some time. And of course, as always, with any of these things, you're going to talk to your pediatrician, to your lactation consultant. This is not in place of seeking medical care. If your baby has blood in the stool, you need to be following up and having the baby evaluated, but bring that up as one of the possibilities, and if they don't, okay? So very good, very, very good question. Thank you, Judy. Hearts for Judy across the screen. Let's get some hearts. Good question there. Yes, and a couple people are saying that you had that too. Yes. Okay, fantastic. All right, where did Rachel go? What happened here? Okay. There she is. Okay, sorry. Hold on, Rachel. I'm having issues, Rachel, tonight. Hold on. Okay, there you are. I just unmuted you, and I'm muting Laura. Okay. Hi, Rachel.
Hi, Shari.
Thank you for being patient. Of course. Thank you for being patient and waiting.
Of course.
Yeah,
I'm so excited about Breastfeeding Week 2. It's our most exciting week and month of the year, so we're celebrating like crazy.
Isn't it funny when we're in this industry of breastfeeding? It's like it becomes like the Christmas of the year. It's our busy season,
Yes. Everyone that's been emailing me, I've had a lot of male partners, and I've been signing everything saying Happy Breastfeeding Week, and they just write back, ha ha ha. I'm like, no, seriously.
You know what? It's so funny because people ask me that are not related to me in work in any way, and they're asking me can I do this? Can I do that? What about August? I'm like, you know what? August is really hard because it's World Breastfeeding, and they're like, oh. Nobody else seems to know that except for all of us. So
right.
But it is great to have you here. I always love having you on, Rachel. It's always so much fun. We've done several episodes together, and I just love working with you.
Well, that is definitely how I feel too. I love working with you too, and I always love watching you even when I'm not on, but I love being on even more.
Yeah, well, I love seeing you in the chat room. Rachel's always coming into the chat room, giving great tips and advice to all the mamas, and just really appreciate that, and they do too. So, Rachel, let's talk about yourself, talk about your story, how you invented this amazing product, and let's let everybody know because they love Rachel's remedy.
Okay, well, I started out as a lawyer. And I paid my dues at a few law firms for several years each, and then went off on my own. And for about 17 years, I've been practicing law. And I had 2 boys, and while I was breastfeeding, I experienced the clogged ducts, and they were recurring. And so I was so frustrated because my doctor and lactation consultants just kept saying, moist heat, you need moist heat because moist heat is so beneficial for, as it penetrates the skin, but it improves vascular tone, it gets things flowing, it improves circulation, so it helps to drain the clogs. So I would be walking around shirtless, like I wasn't shirtless enough breastfeeding all the time. I was I was just shirtless all the time. And I was so fortunate because I moved my practice home. Thank God. Otherwise, I would have been arrested.
You weren't doing that in court or anything, right?
Oh, no. I limited those appearances, but I had many conference calls with judges and colleagues without a shirt, holding wet washcloths in place and nursing on the other side and hoping that the baby wouldn't cry. So that was my life for a long time.
Uh-huh. I think most of us can relate to that for sure.
Yeah, totally.
I did the same thing, except I was doing OB visits, running out to deliveries, and then walking around a retail store with the baby attached to my breast. But
constantly.
Yeah.
And so, so my husband would, run down and put the washcloths in the microwave to try and make them hotter and last longer, and then it would burn me, and I'd be like, and then they'd still get cold after 30 seconds. So I was so frustrated. And I remember I was talking to a latch counselor in the middle of the night one night when I was in so much pain and I was so desperate and I was on the brink of quitting because I just couldn't take the pain anymore from this clogged duct that I couldn't get to unclog. And so she told me to lean into bowls of hot water on my kitchen counter for like 20 minutes at a time just throughout the day. And I'm like, you got to be kidding me. Like there's got to be something, there has to be something better out there. And the fact that there's not. So then I talked about it for an entire year straight and about how I couldn't believe that there wasn't anything out there that actually, wearable moist heat. And finally my family was like, either do something about it or never bring this up again because we're so sick of it. I'm like, all right. I'm leaving my law practice, and the next day I started Rachel's Remedies, and I have not turned back, and it's been
amazing
nonstop ever since.
It's so amazing, and I have one here just so everybody could see it. A lot of people in the chat room have it, but just so you know what she's talking about, this is a flaxseed salt pack here that can be microwaved or put into the freezer, and then it slips inside this waterproof cover. Okay. And it's shaped nice and round, so it'll fit into your bra. And then there's this little cloth that you can moisten and attach right to it, so it sticks to it. And then now you go ahead and you slip that right inside your bra. Now they're wearable, which is what she's talking about, is that moist heat that you want against the breast, so that it penetrates the skin better. It helps to unclog the ducts that get clogged. It prevents mastitis. It helps the milk to flow. It helps the oxytocin to flow. It helps with everything. And, you use these before you could use these before you nurse. You could use these before you pump. And you could use these anytime you're feeling any kind of plugs.
That's right. And when we started out, it's funny because we've evolved so much. And because I don't have your background, I have my legal background. I only had my experiences and my friends' experiences. We started out selling these in single packs, thinking they were mostly for clogged ducts and mastitis. And then we got overwhelming response from our moms saying, oh my God, my milk supply has increased so much, from moms with babies in NICU who don't get that letdown reflex as easily. This helps so much because it stimulates the oxytocin. And so it really helps to get that milk flow going. And so now, it's a whole different product now, and it's evolved so much. Just realizing the potential of moist heat is such a beneficial treatment for breastfeeding moms. And we're trying to change the word moist into not the most hated word in America.
Well, because it's like you were describing, it seems so tedious, soaking your breast, using washcloths, you're dripping wet. It's just not easy. Then they get cold, and the whole, every part of it that you described makes it difficult, even though we all know that is what you need to use. I was actually on the phone today with a friend of mine who's a lactation consultant. She's been a lactation consultant for 25 years. And she had never heard of Rachel's Remedy. And I was telling her about tonight's show and that you were going to be on. And she was like, what is that? And I started to describe to her what the product is and how it works. And she was like, oh my God. She's like, that's amazing. I said, yeah, because all of us in this field know, how important it is to have moist heat, except that you tell someone to do it and they're, moms have enough to do already. It's hard enough.
It's impossible. Right. And so, a lot of times, so many women quit breastfeeding because of mastitis, clogged ducts, because of their milk supply and the difficulty in treating. And so that was such a huge motivator for me to make this product and to really get it out there to as many moms as we could. Totally. Because it really can help moms breastfeed longer.
Absolutely. And, if you do have an issue with clogged ducts, it's the kind of product that's so easy to use that you don't wait till it's really bad to start using it. You can use it every day to prevent them from happening, so that it keeps that circulation going. It keeps them flowing, because that's what actually causes the clogs, is that the milk stays stagnant. It clogs up. And so if you use them every day, I've heard from a lot of moms that it prevents it.
Yeah, it prevents the stasis of milk. There have been a lot of studies about that, the benefits of moist heat for exactly that reason. So
awesome.
So true.
Yeah. Yeah, I love this product. It's so simple yet so needed. And I love like how all the products tonight that we're talking about all really speak to like protecting and, you know, preserving and maintaining the milk as that precious like liquid gold, you know, all the ways moms struggle to, whether it's, you know, pumping or plugged ducts and mastitis or positioning and pain or just convenience, you know, like being able to pump hands free. You've got toddlers and you've got, you know, all those things help to help you nurse more frequently and to pump more frequently, because the more that we express, the more we're going to maintain that supply. And all the things
and all these products, I mean, just lead to having a better life. I mean, you know, and some are maybe a matter of convenience and some are a matter of health, and some are both. And they're so important. So this is a great group of moms. I'm proud to be with them.
Yeah, it's really great. And, you know, it's one of the reasons why when I started off earlier tonight and I said, you know, I don't work with a lot of brands, but I just listening to each one of you speak about yourselves, about the products, I think everybody can kind of tell that these are really meaningful, helpful products that help moms to breastfeed longer. And understandably, that is the ultimate goal for me, is to make it easier for moms so that they can reach their breastfeeding goals, that they could nurse as long as they plan to or wanted to, or sometimes longer than they planned to and decided they wanted to. And, you know, for me too, you know, when I think of what I've designed in the education, it was, as I was listening to each one of you speak, I feel like I've fallen into the same category of just, you know, what I've created has been what I was missing. And that's what we do, you know. As a midwife, I didn't have the knowledge and I didn't have anyone to teach me, and I didn't have that expert that was speaking to me in a way that I could listen to and that made sense, and it was logical and easy to understand and put into practice, you know, practical advice that would have made my life so much easier. And you would have thought that as a midwife I had that and I didn't. And so that's why it's become my mission to work with breastfeeding moms, work with companies like yours, work with products, and also stream live like we did tonight, because I can see in the chat room there's so many women who obviously would not have this conversation anywhere else, that have learned a lot over these years. I get messages every day from them, and I'm just grateful that we've been able to do this. So thank you to every single one of you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Shari.
Thank you.
Oh my goodness. And Rachel, what's the prize that you're going to be giving everybody tonight?
We are giving, well, Shari, you always tell me what the prizes are for me, but I think we're going to be giving away at least one double pack of Rachel's Remedy Breastfeeding Relief Packs. There are 2 per pack, or 2, or, you know, it's up to you.
Because it's World Breastfeeding, let's have more winners. So we'll give away two boxes of the Rachel's Remedy, 1 to each mom. And then I'm going to be giving away some classes too for free as well. So we're going to offer 5 winners to have all 3 of my breastfeeding classes. These are also the same classes that come included with the Evenflo pump. But if you don't have the pump, you will win the classes. And you just have to, again, for all the prizes tonight, just like or love this post, comment here, tell me what you love about each thing, and make sure you register. And we're going to pick a lot of winners. So we've got a lot of winners to give away tonight. It's going to be it's a good way to start World Breastfeeding Week.
Yes, perfect. Let's add one to whomever wins the pump, because this is the perfect pump companion.
Awesome.
Just stay right in the pump bag.
Fantastic. That goes nice with the whole kit.
It does.
Okay, so everybody, I want to say goodnight to all of you, and I want to thank you all for being on with me tonight, and to being with all these amazing moms in the audience, and dads. I always say moms, but there's dads here too. And Joe goes, thank you. Welcome.
Thanks, Joe. Happy Breastfeeding Week, Joe.
I love you, Joe.
Joe, come here and say hi. Joe needs to get in on the action here.
Yes.
There he is.
Keep going.
Okay, there he is.
Get in on the action. There he is.
Hi, Joe.
Hey, everyone.
Hi, Joe.
Hi, you guys look great.
Happy breastfeeding week.
Yeah.
Thank you. Been referred to as the man behind the boob.
Yes.
Or in front of it.
Get t-shirts for you, Joe. I'm gonna be sending you a package.
Yeah, awesome. Well, Joe's always the most supportive, and I have to say, I just want to honor Joe right now in World Breastfeeding Month and week because he is an example of the most supportive husband. You were so supportive during both of my pregnancies, breastfeeding both the kids, and ever since. And not only did he support me to breastfeed, but he's actually supported thousands and thousands and thousands of women to breastfeed, not just me as his wife. So I just want to say thank you to you for that because he's committed his life to educating all of you as well. We work full time on this together. We're always doing this together. We've always been doing this together for the past 15 years. And so everybody knows Joe in the chat room here. But sometimes you don't get to understand just how involved he really is. All the ladies here know that.
Thank you.
We love you, Joe.
Yeah.
Aw, thank you. Love you guys too.
Yay.
Aw.
Oh, okay. So we're going to say goodnight. Thank you, ladies. I can't wait to do this again with you. And thanks for being here. Everybody have a happy World Breastfeeding. And everybody go check them out on their Facebook pages. And we'll see you again soon.
Thank you so much, Shari and Joe. Bye, everybody.
Let's all do a kiss together. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Mwah. Good night.